Crimson Trace offers a full line of protection-oriented products, including red laser sights, green laser sights, and tactical weapon lights to elevate your confidence in moments that matter. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
He rode out of Louisiana territory, and with his gun slung low and his microphone held high, he brought truth to a savage land. And the legend grew. Tom Gresham's Gun Talk.
All right, so glad that you could be with us. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk. If you'd like to be a part of it, give me a call. I tell you what, easiest way. Just call me at Tom Talk Gun. That's real easy. It's 866-TALK-GUN. Tom Talk Gun will get you in there. If there's a gun that you want to know about, I'll make up something. Doesn't matter. It's all good. You give me a holler. You know, for some long now period of time, I've been saying, yes, you need to support the national groups, but you also need to support your state groups. You need to be active on the state level on politics because that's where a lot of the action's happening. That's where the rubber's meeting the road so often these days. You got to show up. You got to stand up. You got to speak up. You got to be part of it. There's an outfit in Tennessee that looked at something that was going on there and said, you know, we ought to look at getting involved in this. And then they kind of discovered, hey, man, wow, it's really expensive to hire a lobbyist. I wonder if we could do that ourselves. Huh, what an idea. David Botkin joins us right now. He's the CFO at T-Rex Arms out of Tennessee. David, thank you for being with us.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for having me on.
You bet. First of all, tell them about T-Rex.
So T-Rex Arms is a custom Kydex holster company. We started about 6 years ago, just in a little single-car garage, no heating, no cooling, working year-round. I know at what temperature the hands get numb after what duration of time because I would check it with the infrared thermometer and stuff. And God just blessed our company, and we're now up to about 25 employees. We're just renovating a 20,000 square foot building to move into.
Wow.
So, we've been in this game now for a while, but I've been very interested in the gun rights movement for years. My dad did some of the original video work for Gun Owners of America. Mm-hmm. We're longtime diehard supporters of gun rights. So, we got into this business because this was our interest.
Sure.
But it wasn't just a financial interest. We had this other interest, and as we've been growing, and last year we were like, can we get into politics? What can we do to start being involved?
Was there something going on in Tennessee specifically that you said, hey, we got to go take a look at this. We got to do something about it?
Not really. It was more a long-term strategic decision. It wasn't so much a knee-jerk. Yes, we knew the red flag things were going to be pushed. We didn't expect them to actually make it through. We did oppose them last year or earlier this year, but they didn't have a lot of traction here. It was more we want to make some steps intentionally over a period of years to try to achieve good legal reform in the state of Tennessee.
Okay, and I know you looked at I know you looked into hiring a lobbyist, and it's expensive. You decided to go DIY with it. What did you do?
Yeah. So first off, we had a bunch of meetings, the owners of T-Rex and some of our, family and friends. And our very first employee that we ever hired, young guy, we hired him from Chick-fil-A. He became our shop manager for a while. We took him, his name was David Tucker, and we registered him as a lobbyist. So he was working for us. We registered him as a lobbyist. And we sent him to Nashville. And we had a couple contacts there that he was able to learn some stuff from, and that was very helpful. And we sent him there with a couple objectives. We wanted to stop any bad legislation that might be coming, the red flag laws and stuff like that. And we wanted him to try to support other good bills that were making their way through. And then we had a couple personal objectives that we wanted to meet. Now, only one of these did we ever actually get written up well enough that it could actually be pushed, and that was our abolition of the Tennessee shell tax, the ammunition tax. In Tennessee, they had this goofy 10 cents a box tax on ammo that every single one needed a stamp on it. It was really weird. It went to the Tennessee Wildlife organization, and it didn't raise that much money. It was a big headache. It was like 7 pages of code. It dates from the 1930s. So it was low-hanging political fruit. It was something that was
okay.
I recognize. I've been doing reading on the law and for a number of years, and it was this goofy thing that seemed like it'd be a real easy thing to attack.
Well, first thing, you got to get somebody to introduce a bill, right?
Yes. So we got a guy, and he used to be a sheriff's deputy. He was a sniper. He had actually had his own Kydex holster company. His name was Clay Doggett. We got him to run our bill for us. So he was the House sponsor, and then not Kerry Roberts. He did something else for us. Never mind. There was another Senate sponsor that we had, but you've got to get a sponsor to run your legislation for you, and then you want to go pick up as many co-sponsors as possible. But that's not really with a bill like this. If it makes it to the floor, it's pretty much going to pass. The fights are all before the floor vote.
Yes.
It's in the committees and it's in the budget, because this was going to cost $400,000. It's a cost. It's reducing taxes that are going. In this case, it was interesting. They didn't go into the general fund. They went specifically to this wildlife organization. So
Okay.
they were the ones that were upset. This was really disturbing. We discovered government agencies have their own lobbyists to lobby representatives to give more money to the government agencies.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they're basically taking care of themselves. So they actually pay staffers to go lobby to get money for themselves. Yeah. With our dollar, using our dollars to go get our dollars.
And so our lobbyist, David Tucker, he went and met with the TWRA lobbyist, and in their conversation, David was explaining the bill, and he's like, well, you're going to need to make us whole.
Okay.
It's like, what? That's not your money. The fact that you've been taking it from people for 80 years doesn't make it yours. But he was feeling like we're being wronged here. Just like if you drove your truck through my fence, I'd say, hey, you need to make me whole. My fence. But anyway, so it was profoundly disturbing. But,
okay, so all right, so let's fast forward through the process.
Sure.
You got this thing done. Where were the major obstacles for you?
So the committees were probably the first major obstacles. The good news is we had friends that were on all the committees, and so they were able to push it. Very few people were actually able, representatives were actually able to really oppose the bill. In trying to recruit co-sponsors, I think one Democratic lawmaker opposed it, and everyone else was like, yeah, this is stupid tax. It cost, we never could get straight numbers, but our guess was it was costing them something close to what they were actually raking in to actually, to administrate everything.
Okay.
And so it was a dumb tax, and it was hard to defend.
But it was perfect for you for your first effort to make this, and you got it done. So I guess what I'm really looking for at this point is, what did you learn in the process?
We learned that you need to be gracious. You need to be respectful. We've seen a lot of gun rights organizations, and they're incredibly brash in the way they, either they're compromisers and they don't really do anything, and they butter everyone up and they get nothing done, or they go the other extreme and they just throw insults, and they're always saying people are anti-Second Amendment when maybe they're opposed to this bill because the bill is poorly written, or they're opposed to this bill because they haven't been explained it well enough, or whatever, and so the gun rights organizations, they go and they start throwing these hand grenades, as it were, of ad hominem attacks and stuff like that. And so we learned, don't do that. Be friendly. Our lobbyists found it very effective to go in and say, hey, here's who I am. Here's the bill that we're pushing. Is there anything I can do to serve you? Do you have any goals? Do you have any other bills that you're working on that I could help you with for free? Just like, can I do anything to serve you? And that was very helpful. Now, the thing is, if you show up and they don't know who you are from Adam, and you think, can I help you? They might be like, I don't want your help because I don't know what you're going to do. But once you have some track record and you have some relationship with these guys, they'll be like, yeah, could you, if you could get any sponsors, co-sponsors, that'd be great. It's a very relational game is what we learned. And so if you want to have friends, you need to show yourself friendly. It doesn't mean you have to bootlick. It doesn't mean you have to compromise.
But you don't have to be a jerk.
But don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
So, show up like you're coming for a job interview.
Well, the other thing is, I'm reminded of one of the best salesmen I've ever worked with. He always said, look, no doesn't mean no. No just means not yet or not now. Right. And you have to take the long term. We're going to be here a while, and I need to come back and be able to talk to this person later on something. So don't burn that bridge. Even if they say, no, I can't support this bill, you go, okay, well, I appreciate you considering it, and look forward to working with you on something in the future. And, save your ammunition for that, your political ammunition in this case. Right. Hey, David, could you hold on a second? I need to take a break. I want to come back, and also I want people to know a little bit more about T-Rex Arms and what you guys are doing, okay?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, good deal. 866-TALK-GUN. By the way, if you want to check it out during the break, it's T-Rex, TREX-arms.com. Take a look at what they're doing, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on the backside.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
This is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway for a chance to win a Kimber in September. Our grand prize winner receives the Kimber Evo SP Custom Shop 9mm handgun, a collaborative design between engineers and gunsmiths, with stainless steel slide, G10 grips, True Glow Tritium Pro sights, and 2 7-round magazines. Enter now through September 27th at guntalk.com/win.
Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. The time is now to band together. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
This is Jeff with Black Hills Ammunition. Shooters looking for ultimate performance in 300 blackout will be pleased with our new 110 grain tip TSX load. This round performs well through tough barriers such as car doors and windshields, making it a great choice for police patrol rifles. It also provides superior performance on whitetails and monster hogs. This round is a great all-around terminal performer. Black Hills Ammunition, the power of performance.
All right, welcome back. We're talking with David Botkin from T-Rex Arms. He's the CFO there out of Tennessee. And David, this kind of experiment where you guys decided to get involved in the political process, you got a bill pushed through, you learned a lot in the process. Now what?
That's a good question that we're still trying to figure out. We've been discussing it internally. What are our objectives for next year? We have long-term objectives. We want to get rid of gun-free zones. We want to pass constitutional carry. At the federal level, we want to abolish the NFA and all other infringements on gun rights. I think most people don't know this, but before 1934, you could order a fully automatic Thompson machine gun through the mail, submachine gun.
Right.
And that's what uninfringed looks like.
That's a good point. But now there are. I know that there are state groups in Tennessee, but you decided to go do this on your own. Why?
So the state groups in Tennessee, they've been working at it, but they're. My take is, and I could be wrong on this, they're not very large. And where I want to go with this, so the first round, we used our own lobbyist, and he did everything. He was the lone voice on the Hill. I don't like that model, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
It's a very elitist model, and it separates the voters, the constituents, the citizens of our country from their politicians. It's very convenient. They don't have to make phone calls, send emails, visit their reps, talk to their reps. They just give some money, and this person, this elite, goes and does the political process for them. That's what our representatives are supposed to be. They're supposed to represent us. We shouldn't need lobbyists. We should have our own representatives. It's like, I'm already paying a representative to be on the Hill.
Right. No, I understand.
So,
but people say, I'm busy. I have a job. I can't go to Nashville. I can't do this. So we will all band together, and we will hire somebody who will represent us, which, as you say, but we already did that. We hired the person who's supposed to be representing us right now.
I know. It's like, why can't my representative represent me on these things? I want him, I want him to keep his oath and protect my rights. So what we want to do, what we want to move towards, is figuring out a way of empowering Tennesseans to work with their reps. This is our plan. It's tentative. We're thrashing through the details. But basically, I want regular Tennesseans to be more directly involved in the political process and talk to their representatives. Because, yes, we can send a lobbyist to a representative's office and say, hey, will you consider this bill? But how much more powerful would it be if 50 of his people in his district would actually go to his office or meet him at home, in his home county and say, Mr. So-and-so, this is the bill we want. This is our understanding of what's consistent with the Constitution.
What you're describing is what I've been saying all along, which is you have to show up. The future belongs to those who show up. Whatever happens will be determined by the people who show up. And the other part of that is, and you alluded to this earlier, which is interesting, is that you cannot show up in the middle of a crisis and have to introduce yourself and expect to get much of a reception. They have to know who you are before the stuff hits the fan.
Correct. And, maybe you show up when the crisis is going on and maybe they're visionary enough to find a way to employ you that's not potentially risky to them. But, if it was me and some total newcomer showed up, I probably wouldn't want his quote-unquote help because for all I know, he's just going to wreck everything.
So, loose cannon, Yeah,
so this is all about organization, freedom. So, shooters that want to protect their family, they can't expect to buy a gun, put it in a safe, and be ready to defend their family if and when some creep busts down the door. There's a lot of work on the front end that's required in order to be proficient and capable of defending your family. Exactly the same in politics. You can't just vote and complain and do nothing else and hope that everything's going to kind of turn out. And then, the day that the red flag law actually looks like it's going to pass, or the day that the new automatic weapons ban actually looks like it's going to pass, that's kind of too late to be learning the political game and getting involved.
Yes, exactly. So do you now form a group? Is this going to be a new organization?
I don't really want to form a new organization because typically what happens with organizations is they want money. They want donations. What they ask of their members is money, and the money goes towards hiring lobbyists. And this is what I want. Yes, I want a group of sorts, but I want to figure out how to actually what I'm toying with right now is basically reaching out to Tennesseans and inviting people to join us and helping us with some specific policy objectives. Because, groups are where all the political power lies, and in unions, nations, armies, whatever. It's groups that hold power. So we do want to form a group in that sense. But groups need common beliefs, and I also need common objectives. So we're hoping to come along and provide some common objectives and provide some common methodology.
I'm going to throw a thought out for you here, and we hadn't talked about this at all, okay? I don't know if you've ever been to it, if you even know about the Gun Rights Policy Conference that's held every year. It's kind of a center gathering point for different groups everywhere, and some are official state groups, some are other things. Boy, I think that you could really benefit with your ideas and coming there and sharing some of your ideas, and it is later on this month in Phoenix.
Yes, I was just shared that conference. I think a couple weeks ago, and I looked at it. I think that's when we're moving our shop.
Well, that's a lame excuse.
Yeah, I just need to get our business moved into a new building and keep production going.
I
and
understand.
All that stuff.
All right, let me do this. Before I run out of time, it's not fair to milk you for all of this and not let you tell people about T-Rex. And I've been looking at your website, and I keep telling people they need to not only be proficient with their firearms, but also med kits and all the rest of it. And you've got all that stuff on your website. Talk for give me your 30 to 45 seconds on why somebody needs to have a tourniquet, know how to use it, have a basic med kit.
Basically, there's all kinds of situations in life where, whether it's a car accident, whether it's a construction accident, a home improvement project that goes wrong, whatever, where medical training is required. I'm actually a volunteer firefighter, or have been in the past, and I've responded to most of my neighbors in that capacity for mostly medical emergencies. I've never needed or used a tourniquet yet, but when a tourniquet is needed, there's really no good solution. And when a tourniquet is needed, you don't have minutes to wait for it. Like where we are, it takes 20 minutes to get an ambulance out here.
Yeah, somebody's going to bleed out.
No, when there's arterial bleeding, you need a tourniquet, and you need it now. So I carry a tourniquet with me and some basic medical supplies everywhere I go. I have it in my laptop bag that I take to church. And there's tourniquets and there's tourniquets. And
well, that's the other part, yeah. And a belt is not a tourniquet.
No, and the other problem is, I cannot stress this enough, do not go on eBay and buy a tourniquet, because it's most likely an airsoft ripoff from China. And people have died because these were put on a limb, they were tensioned, and then it broke.
Ooh, wow. So, all right, look, I'm out of time. Let me direct them to your website. It's T-Rex, it's TREX-arms.com. Dave, we're going to pick this up another time because we got a lot to talk about, okay?
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your foray into politics, and I wish you great luck and expansion on the whole deal.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, and God bless you, too.
All righty. Take care. 866-TALK-GUN. Fascinating conversation. Have you thought about carrying medical stuff? If so, what do you carry?
The right answers to the tough questions on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk.
All right, back with you. Back 1:45 midnight last night, I get an email from Everytown for Gun Safety, the Bloomberg gun ban group. Tom, we have received news of a mass shooting in West Texas. At least 5 people were shot and killed. Now it's up to 7. Yada, yada, yada. We need to honor these lives, yada, yada, yada. Tell your senators it's past time to pass legislation requiring background checks for all gun sales and a strong red flag law. They have no idea if this person passed a background check. They have no idea if this person would have been subject to a red flag law. They don't care. They simply want to jump on the fear, the shock, the outrage. We must do something, do something, do something. So they take that and say, but what we're going to do with that is we're going to enact more gun control laws. So we will have more control over people, not guns, people. We will restrict more people. We will make it actually illegal. We will make it a crime for you to loan your gun to your neighbor. The lady who lives next door, who's being abused by a former boyfriend, and she's frightened, and it's Saturday evening, and she can't go to the gun store, and no one's going to take care of her, and it would make it illegal for you to loan her a gun for the weekend until she can go to a gun store and buy a gun. It would be a crime to do that. That's what the expanded or universal background check does. And here they are, dancing in the blood of innocence, pushing their agenda. It's what they do. Line 5, Joe, Shreveport, Louisiana. Hello, Joe. Thank you for your patience. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Tom. Man, I just wanted to applaud you for that interview with the T-Rex guys. I mean,
yeah.
That was absolutely outstanding. I think I could listen to y'all for the whole 3 hours.
You know, and I had never spoken to David before, but they have a nice video on their website about how they decided to get into the lobbying world, to get into politics as a company, and what it took and what they learned. And it was a very well done piece. And I just thought, these are interesting people. This is a small company who decides we see a need for this. And it's that old deal of, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? And they just stepped up and did it. And it's kind of what I've been saying, is that each of us can do that in our own way. And yeah, state capital is, a drive for everybody, unless you live in the state capital town. But
well, it was motivating for me to listen to that, and you've been spurring me, and things like that spur me that, man, I've got to get more involved. And I actually got turned on to T-Rex about a year and a half ago, and I actually bought a couple of their products. They seem like an outstanding company. And, the interesting thing is, I don't think any of them are LE or military. They just got the American vision.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, you're in Louisiana. Yeah. There is a really good, with a teeny tiny group in Louisiana called the Louisiana Shooting Association, and it is the group that does pretty much all the work in the state legislature. It's only about 1,000 members. We need more. LouisianaShooting.com. I would invite you to get involved.
I will check it out.
Okay, it's like stupid cheap. But also it'll let you know when the bills are being heard, and maybe you can come on down. You'll see me there. I mean, I have totally adopted the show up and speak up deal. And what's interesting is that during the committee meetings, and he was right, the work happens in the committee meetings, because by the time a bill gets to the floor, or maybe even doesn't get to the floor because of the committee, it's done. I mean, we know what's going to happen, but it's all about the committee meetings. And when the committee members look out at the crowd there, they basically size it up. And they go, oh, okay. The gun folks have really shown up, or the anti-gun, the gun control people have really shown up. Does that affect them? Some of them it has to. It's that old deal of nobody ever won by not showing up. So there we are. I'm glad you liked that interview. I liked it too, and I was not familiar with the company. I'm glad to hear that you had good interaction with them, good products.
They are good products. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Line one, Leroy's in Denver, Colorado. Hey, Leroy.
How are you today?
I'm great. How can we help you?
I recently acquired a 1918 British 303 bolt-action Mark III from a customer of mine. And I just want to know if there's anything you can tell me about a vintage gun like that. Anything you can offer me would be great. I'm not familiar with that kind of old potential military type of rifle.
Right.
And I just wanted to see if there's anything you can, any helpful hints that you can give me.
Probably not. And I just have to fess up. What is it? Clint Eastwood said, a man's got to know his limitations. That is an area that I'm just not conversant on. And yet there are so many people who are, but you're lucky, because we're going to now bring those people in, because I'm going to put out the call. And Leroy needs some help. Now, it's a 303. Is it an Enfield, did you say?
Well, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Is it an Enfield?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, what kind of rifle is it? I'm sorry.
Bolt action.
Okay, it's probably. I think it's a British. Yeah, I think it's a British Enfield. And so, where did you get it? How did you come about this?
Lady went through a divorce, and husband kept snooping around. They said there was an old gun there, and they wanted to get rid of it. And I said, "I'm your man," and they gave it to me.
Now, are you actually
something else?
Are you actually in Denver? Are you in Centennial? Where are you?
I'm in Denver.
Okay. I know the Centennial Gun Club, Centennial Arms, is down there. I'll be there in about 2 weeks. Actually, wow. 2 weeks from yesterday, I'll be there. They're going to have their big fall festival, gun festival, so I would invite you to come on down. But a good gun shop could help, but also I'm going to ask this. If somebody, and there are collectors out there, if you know something about the 303 British, the cartridge or the rifle, give us a call. And Leroy, if you'll just keep listening, we're going to get you some information as fast as we can, okay?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love the show.
All right, you take care. 866-TALK-GUN, get you in here. Range reports. What have you been shooting? Think about buying anything? When we come back, I'll tell you about the call I had this week from the IT guy. He says, oh, by the way, I got to ask you about a gun. That's always fun.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Bata Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
It's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. I'm Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Second Amendment Foundation. When someone says we don't need that kind of gun, remind them the Founding Fathers determined what rights our Constitution should protect. There's a world of difference between rights and needs. It is not the function of government to tell us what we need or what we don't. Certainly no one needs an assault rifle or a Saturday night special, or for that matter, no one needs a Corvette with a high-capacity horsepower engine capable of speeds to 150 miles per hour. But in the hands of honest, responsible individuals, we have the right of choice. We have the right to read books others don't like. We have the right to listen to any radio program we choose. We have the right to dress the way we want to. We also have the right to own firearms of our choice. So the next time someone tells you you don't need something, tell them it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. Join the Second Amendment Foundation today so that this message and our Bill of Rights might live. Call 425-454-7012. That's 425-454-7012.
All right, back with you. I had mentioned I was going to be up in the Denver area. And actually, if you're up there, you got to plan to come by. Say howdy. It's called the Firearms Festival, and you can actually look it up, firearmsfestival.com. It is on September the 14th. Going to run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is put on by the Centennial Gun Club. Great place. I've been there. We actually did TV there. 2 or 3 years ago. Did some pieces, and it was really fun. One of those upscale, modern, clean, safe, inviting gun clubs, shooting ranges. Pretty neat deal, Centennial Gun Club. But yeah, make a plan. I'd love to have you come out and say howdy, waves, let's shoot the breeze. In fact, you know what it is? We're just going to keep talking about guns like we do here. Benny has called in on 5 from Corpus Christi because he knows I need some help on the 303. So Benny, talk to me, please. Benny, are you there? Okay, Benny put the phone down. I say, let's try this. Let's try Richard on line 4 out of San Antonio, see if our system's working here. Hey, Richard, you're up.
Yes, Tom. I got a range report on a Bertha 380 Thunder.
Good deal.
I wanted something a little bit smaller for ankle carry for my work clothes, and I took it out to the range the other day, And after round 21, the slide stayed to the rear and did not go forward. So I field stripped it real quick, and I noticed the slide catch had broken, specifically where it pushes up on the follower.
Mm-hmm.
And did some research. It's under the 1-year warranty, but in order to ship it properly, it's going to cost me 3 times the price of the slide catch itself. And I was wondering, have you heard any other reports of such a thing happening?
I have not. I mean, have you talked to the company?
It's the holiday weekend. It's email right now.
Yeah. What I would do when everybody's back at work, give them a holler. I would suspect they're either going to send you parts free or they're going, I mean, if you just got the gun and it broke, I would expect them to pay the shipping both ways.
Okay. I'll give that a try then.
Okay. I mean, obviously, if you're comfortable with them sending the parts, you could actually just have them do that. But first thing to do is just to give them a call and talk to them about it and see what they're going to do, okay?
Roger that. Will do. Thank you much.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. Let us know how it works out. Troy's on 3 out of Sparks, Nevada. Troy, what you been up to?
Hi, Tom. I had a question for you. Got an old 870 Remington Express combo bought many years ago to go hunting with my dad. Wanted to go duck hunting. That never really happened. So I've got this hunting shotgun that sits in the house. And I was down at the store and I saw a magazine extension for it.
Right.
I was wondering if that's worth putting on or not, because you have to modify the gun to do it and you can't go backwards.
Well, I guess the question is, are you going to use it for hunting anymore, or are you okay just going ahead and putting this extended mag on it and leaving it that way?
I'm fine with putting it on and leaving it. I was just wondering if it's worth its salt or not,
I think so. I mean, if it's a home defense gun, then more ammo is always good. There's nothing wrong with that. What's the barrel length on it?
I have the 18-inch barrel. I have both. I have the hunting, the 28, and then I also have the 18 for the home defense barrel.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, the 18 inches where I would definitely put the extended mag on it, and I would, if it were me, I would put some sort of sighting device on it, which is going to sound, and people say, well, what do you mean? It's a shotgun. Yeah, but here's the thing. And have you ever shot a shotgun at a target at like 5 yards?
No, sir. The only thing that this thing ever did was shoot clay targets.
Okay. What you're going to find is that the pattern is smaller than your fist. It's really small. And because, people say, shotgun, it'll, clear the whole room. No, actually, it's going to shoot a very, very small pattern. You're talking about the size of your fist at just 3 to 5 yards. And I would certainly suggest you go out and do a little shooting that way. But if you could put either a laser on it or a set of iron sights on it, or my personal favorite is put a red dot optic on it. Now it's fast, it's accurate. You can make, if you had to, you can make headshots. You can make very specific shots you need to make with it. Do some practice, shoot on cardboard, get up close, work it. If at all possible, one of the more fun things you can do, I swear, is go take a defensive class with shotguns, where they teach the shotguns for defensive. It's amazing. You'll learn so many things that you had no idea that you could do with a shotgun, switching back and forth between different loads, slugs, buckshot, using the side saddle, having the ammo attached to your gun, doing speed reloading, all the rest of it. You'll have so much fun. It's liable to become your favorite gun. But listen, Troy, I appreciate the call, sir, and I think that's actually a really good tool for home defense. A extended magazine, 12-gauge, or a 20-gauge pump. Either one works just fine, but I really do think that an optic on it is a great way to go. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. What do you have for your home defense? Shotgun, rifle, or pistol? I just thinking about that last call. Troy is going to modify his Remington 870 pump to have a mag extension, make that his home defense gun. And, I know a lot of people have their carry guns. Lord knows I always have my carry gun with me, and tend to think of that as their home defense gun as well. And it will work, certainly. It's fine. But why would you want a long gun for your home defense gun? Isn't a handgun easier to move around with, more convenient? Yeah, maybe. Yes, it's one of those yes, but. Let's go way back. What is the purpose of a self-defense firearm? It is to stop someone who is trying to hurt you. When someone is trying to hurt you, you want them to stop what they're doing as quickly as possible. Okay, right? We're all okay on that. The idea is to make this person stop doing what he or she is doing, and we want them to stop immediately, because if we weren't concerned about the time, it probably isn't an immediate threat, and you probably don't need a firearm. We know that on average it takes 2.5 hits with a handgun, pretty much any handgun caliber, to stop an attacker. It takes 1.5 hits with a long gun. Why would that be? Because long guns are more powerful. If you had to go to a fight, if you said, okay, you're invited, you are required to go to a gunfight, would you be taking your handgun, or would you not take a rifle or a shotgun? You would take the rifle or a shotgun. Why? Because they're more powerful. Probably easier to make good hits with. That's an additional factor. But they simply are more powerful. And in the case of a rifle, it holds more ammunition, which you may or may not need, but if you needed it, it'd be nice to have. Then the question is, well, why don't we carry long guns around with us all the time? Well, because it's inconvenient and it frightens the public. It's kind of two things going on there. And I know there are people who open carry their ARs. I think it's the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. I think it harms gun rights. I think it harms our ability to speak to the middle. And it is the middle who's going to determine where we are on gun rights, what we can and can't do. And for those who say, well, we got the Second Amendment, they can't. Yes, they can. When they can outvote you, they can do that. Eventually, they can. So you have to be appealing to the middle. You have to be persuasive. Frightening them is not going to persuade them to be on your side. It's persuasive, all right, but it pushes them to the other side. It makes them think you're crazy. It frightens them, and they want to do something about that. So, all that being said, that's why we don't carry long guns as we're going shopping. But in your home, where you can, I'm going to suggest this, a long gun with 2 things on it, okay? 2 additional things you need. You need a light and you need a sight. Yeah, I know, you think, well, you don't need a sight on your shotgun. Well, maybe, but actually you do. If all you have is a round barrel and you have to try to make a headshot, or you have to try to take, somebody is giving you half a shot from behind a barricade, half a head that is, to shoot at, you need to be able to aim precisely. You need to know exactly where that gun's going to shoot, and you're shooting something small. Your pattern's going to be smaller than a coffee cup. And there are times when you may need to use only half a pattern. That's something that we work on when we go to gunfighting school with shotguns. I need you to hit this target with only the right side of your pattern, or only the left side of your pattern, because it may be a hostage situation. Ooh. InTOT never thought of that, right? I never thought of that. Well, that's why you go to school. That's why you go to training. You know, it's one of those deals, you're either serious or you're not. One of the things I'd like for you to tell me is what are the reasons, I'm not going to call anybody out on this, but I'm just curious, what are the reasons you don't go to training? What are the reasons you don't go to a good gun school? I would love to know. 866-TALK-GUN. When we come back, let's talk about getting kids involved in shooting and what that does for them, and how you may want to get involved as well. That's a pretty good thing to do.